Okay, so today we have Nana here, and he just received an offer letter today for $145,000 a year with a was there a bonus or was it just 145?
Yeah, I believe it's 5,000 bonus, so total 150.
Okay. Okay, 145 with a 5K bonus.
Yeah,
And is it on-site, hybrid, remote?
I believe for now it's going to be remote.
Okay. And so kind of, tell me about yourself, tell the people about yourself, what were you doing before you got into cloud engineering? What was your career like?
Yeah, so I really started out as a well, first let me backtrack. So first, I graduated school back in like 2019. I was at Radford University, and the very first job I had right after that was at Geico. I was basically selling insurance. Long story short, I just wasn't happy there. I realized the job wasn't for me. It was just really stressful, having to deal with people every day cursing you out, yelling at you. It was tough. It just wasn't for me, you know.
What was the
Some
main
people were
thing?
happy doing that, but I'm sorry, was that?
No, I was gonna say, what was the main thing that was just like, yeah, this is not for me.
Um, so for one, like it's just for like every day, like almost every. I think it's just because of the department I was in, but I just felt like almost every day, like it was just me having to argue or go back and forth with somebody almost every day, and it
Oof.
was over stuff that I had no control over,
Mm,
right? So that's number one, and also just a lot of times too, like as a salesman, you basically under pressure to sell a certain amount of stuff every month.
mm,
And yeah, it was just a lot. It was just very draining and exhausting for me. Although I did learn some skills, because I felt like sales was something that I needed to learn, but it was just very strenuous for me. So I just felt like it just wasn't for me. I needed to find something that was more for me, basically. So yeah.
And so why cloud engineering? Why did you wanted to um like join this program, learn this skill set? What kind of attracted you to cloud engineering?
Right after Geico, I remember this was right before COVID. I basically left Geico and there was a 5 month, 5 to 6 months period where I wasn't working. I just wasn't doing anything. And I figured I needed to find another career.
Mm,
So during this time, I did some research and I basically decided I wanted to become a business analyst. Right. So I did take a course, got some certs, and I did get my first business analyst job back in like 2021.
mm,
Did that for about 3 years, right? And it was going pretty well. I felt like this was something I could see myself doing long term. But the things we're living in an era where there's a lot of changes, AI and all this stuff coming out, so you have to adjust,
mm,
right? So I realized that I needed to basically find a different path as well, and also make more money, you
mm.
know. So at the end, I did some more research, and I decided I want to be a cloud engineer, right? I just felt like that was what was more suitable for me. I was thinking about doing coding, but I figured, nah, cloud engineer was just the better one for me. So it took some time for me to actually get into it. I had my doubts. And
Mm,
then also, long story short, I was with Deloitte last year for the past couple of year and a half or so, and I got laid off. So
mm,
now I'm like, okay, now I really need to find something fast. And
mm.
I figured this was the time for me to really take this cloud engineering stuff seriously. And I
Yeah.
did come across your stuff on Instagram, and that's when I decided to reach out and see what this core program was about.
And
And
what kind of made you like what did you see online that kind of made it like in your head you were like, okay, I just found this guy on Instagram, but like what in your head made it like, okay, this guy can actually get me what I'm looking for, which is the job that you just got. What did you see on?
so I think it was like an ad that I saw where, you were just talking about how, you have people who didn't even have any IT experience at all. Some people don't even, really have that much experience, with technology. And they came in, did your program, and they're making money. And the things with me who actually has experience with the technology, I figured they can do it, why can't I? So that's one thing. And then also, I mean, I kind of just went through your page, went through like all the stuff that you were, you posting like the test, like, the testimonies and stuff. Everybody was talking about, how this program helped them. So I'm like, you know what? Let me reach out. Let me see what this is about, because this seems really interesting. you
And
know.
so, do you regret
Yeah,
that decision after, just your whole experience working with us?
not at all, not one bit. I'll be honest with you though, it was a challenge at first, because I mean, like I said, anything for me at least, one thing I realized is that, sometimes I'm a bit of a slow learner. I don't get things fast like some people do.
Hmm.
But I realized in those times too, like I can't give up. I just have to keep going and eventually I'll figure it out. So that was definitely the challenge for me at first. Like at first it was a struggle. I was just like, man, it seems like a lot. But again, with the program, eventually everything just started adding up and I'm just like, wait, like this isn't that hard. I just needed to really just take some time to really do the assignments, and also refer to your notes. I mean, not your notes, but your videos as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then I remember that some of the tips that you were giving us, like, going to ChatGPT, explain like a fifth grader, stuff like that. This is stuff that I wasn't doing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
all of that definitely helped.
And so, what were you making before, when you were, selling insurance? And yeah, what were you making before? Let's start there.
So insurance, I was making about 40K a year.
So you went from $40,000 a year to $150,000 a year.
Yep.
And so you pretty much tripled your income.
Yeah.
And so you didn't go to college, you didn't get any certifications, right? You didn't do that in this program, correct?
Yeah. Well, I did go to college, right?
Well,
But
for this program, right?
oh no, for this, no, 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 not especially for this one, no.
So you didn't have to, get any, you didn't have to get any certifications either, correct?
No. Mm-mm. No.
So, and I want to talk about this because in the industry, a lot of people say get your Security Plus, get your, AWS Solutions Architect. Did you get the Security Plus or AWS Solutions Architect or the Azure certifications or GCP? Did you get any certifications to actually get a job as a cloud engineer?
No, no. Only certification I had was specifically for business analyst, but not for cloud engineer.
And so you didn't go for certifications to get a job. So certifications didn't equal jobs for you. What did you
Right.
do to actually get this offer letter from like a high level perspective?
I mean, all I really had to do was just learn about cloud engineers, what they do, learn about all of the components, everything from AWS to, just also learning the workflow
Mhm.
and also the tech challenges, the projects. That was really, I would say, the tech challenges was what really helped me out. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of just going in there and actually doing it hands-on and
Hmm.
seeing how everything just comes together.
And so
That's really all I need to do.
with the hands-on like approach of learning, building things like the solutions to problems that companies have in today's market, how did that help you, not only building the things because we show you how to communicate the technical project, the technical experience, correct? Like how to actually communicate on the interview, right?
Yeah.
And so, how did building those projects and also learning how to communicate effectively on these interviews, how did that translate those two skill sets? How did that translate into getting a job? Can you tell everybody that's watching this your experience?
Oh yeah. So it's like, on these jobs, they're gonna ask you, about certain things, certain um certain components as well as also the workflow. For me, from my experience, the workflow was the most important part. Just being able to explain the whole system, what happens here, and then what happens next, and I basically just went with exactly what was given to me, in this course. I
Mhm.
didn't like switch up or try to add in. Nah, I just went basically through the whole workflow,
And
and
so,
it was really it's that simple.
so I say this all the time, when you join the program, and Kareem says it too, like, do not go outside the blueprint. You don't have to figure anything out, right? Except for like troubleshooting, because that's a skill set. But in terms of step by step, you do not have to go outside the blueprint to get the skill set. I can never promise you an offer letter. Even though you got this offer letter, I always tell people I have no idea if you're going to get an offer letter. I have no idea if you're going to take this serious. What I do know is if you go through the step-by-step blueprint, you're going to get the skill set. And when you have the skill set, right, how to get recruiters to reach out to you, right? Do you feel like you had recruiters reaching out to you? Was that something that you experienced? You had people reaching out to you, like recruiters?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was actually a recruiter that reached out to me via email. I've also
Wow.
had other recruiters reach out to me, on LinkedIn, one on Indeed, Dice, so
Wow.
yeah, I was definitely getting
So,
some
so,
traction there.
so this offer letter that you got, you did not apply to the job. You utilized our system to get a recruiter to reach out to you, correct?
Correct.
And so then you confidently have this skill set to be able to have recruiters reach out to you and communicate effectively to understand the problem that these companies have, and then only talk about the solution, which is the projects that you've built to actually equal offer letter, correct?
Correct.
So you
Yes,
didn't do
sir.
certifications. That's what everybody online is telling you to do.
Nah, nah, I didn't need all of that. Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%. Like I did not do any certifications. All I did was just go through the course and pretty much do exactly what y'all asked me to do,
Okay,
and
so
just went from there.
you didn't have to go outside the program, you didn't have to go outside the blueprint to get the results you're looking for, correct?
Nah, not at all.
And so I'm really emphasizing that because, I've joined different programs and I still have to go outside the program to figure out how to build my resume, to show up, to figure out how to get recruiters. I couldn't get a recruiter on the phone because I was applying to jobs. I was applying to jobs. That's the worst way of getting a job. It has a 2 to 3 conversion rate. It's horrible. And so I had to learn more effective ways to actually get an offer letter, which was, one of the things Nana talked about in terms of having a recruiter to reach out to you because you understand how to brand yourself. You understand marketing, right? Getting recruiters to reach out to you, and sales, like business principles, communication. How like sales is really communicating. Okay, how do you
Right.
communicate the problem and communicate the solution to show that you are the best person that can solve the problem, and that is why they give you the offer letter. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so,
Absolutely.
you know, back when you were, working at Geico, like, where did you feel stuck? Like, what was the ceiling you kept on hitting?
So for one, I admit, at first I really struggled as doing sales because I realized, okay, maybe my sales skills is not too good, but I basically looked at it as this is an opportunity to learn,
Mm,
right? So, especially within the first couple of months I was there, I struggled. Like yeah, I couldn't sell at all, really.
mm,
I never hit the mark that I was supposed to hit, to even get out of transition,
wow.
really. So it really took a while. On top of that, too, what happened was that the department that I was in wasn't making that much money. So at some
Mm,
point, we couldn't even do sales anymore. They had to convert all of us to service agents.
wow.
And that made the job even worse. It was very
Wow.
stressful. Every day you're dealing with this, dealing with that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
And
I can't
so,
do it.
tell everybody that's watching this, like, what were you thinking when you first saw the program? Like, what questions did you have? And, what was the answer that kind of made it all click for you?
So ask that question one more time. Just want to make sure.
So, when you first saw the program,
Uh-huh.
like tell people what you were thinking when you first saw the program. Like, what questions did you have, if you had any, and just like what made it make sense for you? Like, what made it click for you? Like, okay, this makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like I said earlier, we live in an environment where it's a lot of technology coming out. You got AI, machine learning, all this so much going on, and you just have to be able to adapt,
Hmm.
right? And so again, like I was talking about how I wanted to basically move away from the business analyst role into a more technical role.
Hmm.
After doing some research, I just felt like that content gen will be easier. But again, I didn't know where to start because I'm seeing different stuff. I saw your stuff. I saw other people advertising other stuff. So I'm like, hmm. But then I think what really stood out to me was just the fact that for one, this is like a live program. Like you get to actually talk to people. You have an instructor who's available to teach you stuff. You have a community, right? To help you out, check
Let's
people
talk,
checking on you.
how did you feel
You know,
about the community aspect? A lot of people love it. When
oh yeah.
how did you feel about it?
Oh yeah, most definitely it helps, just having people there to actually answer questions that you have, because the thing is, like I could have just done like, like Udemy or Coursera or something, right? And that's fine, nothing wrong with that, but it's just with that, it's like you have to do a lot of like research on your own, which sometimes can be a challenge too, but just having somebody there to really break things down to
Hmm.
you, just it really helps, at least from in my opinion, that's what helped me out,
And let's
you know.
talk about let's talk about like the financial commitment. I've heard a lot of people, and you don't have to say the amount, but I've heard a lot of people say like because they invested, in themselves. Like for example, let's just say $10 as opposed to, $20,000. Just an example. Or let's say $10 as opposed to like 5,000 or 1,000 or 10,000. Um, the $10 they were like, they're not really going to feel it. And because they didn't feel it, like if you spend $10,000, you're like, oh, I'm going to get my money back, right? And so it's like, but if you spend the $10 or if you don't even pay anything at all, I used AI to, research this. Anybody watching this, use AI to do this as well. I said, if what is the percentage of people, do you know the percentage of people that finish courses? It's actually crazy. Like just video courses, you know.
Uh,
I think it,
I don't know, but my guess is definitely a low number. It's probably a low number.
um I'm actually searching it up right now, but it was extremely crazy. I don't want to get it wrong. I think it was like 7 or 8% or
Oh wow.
3%, but it was insane. And so like it's like I used to think like this and I used to have a poor mindset. I was like, why would I pay somebody if I can just get it for free and get what I want? But like when I did it for free, I always gave up. There was no commitment. When I got stuck, I would give up too as well. I had no support, right? I couldn't reach out to a mentor to get me unstuck. When I try to get myself unstuck, I was going in the wrong direction as opposed to going this way. Like there's different things. So yeah, it says it is 3 to 7% on average of people that finish courses.
Wow.
And that's people who buy like a video course, not a program like this. This is a full program, but courses. Now imagine free because there's no commitment. What about free courses? And so it's just to say having that level of like commitment actually increases the likelihood of you getting what you want. And so when I had this like poor mindset, I'm like, okay, I can just do it for free. But if I do that, that lowers the chances dramatically. And so, like, let's say 3% of me getting what I want for free. But if I pay for it and it hurts, it's like whenever I pay for something, it's like, nah, I gotta get my money back. I always get the end result, like every single time, because it's like I'm not just about to waste my money. And so, um, you know, I had a conversation with Drew on the testimonial video, and it was another student, but I always say there's YouTube University, and you can get the results if you're extremely determined. If you're like, yo, this has to work, or you can go to YouTube University, but it's just going to take you longer. It's going to be more stressful, and
Yep.
you could get the end result using a proven blueprint. It doesn't have to be this program; it can be another one. You can get the end result faster and you can start making money faster, right? And so, it's important. I always like to kind of highlight that because that's something that cost me a lot of time, a lot of stress and money when I try to do things for free. And so, you know, when you joined the program, walk me through like what happened next. Like, what were the first few weeks like for you?
So first few weeks, I would say, I remember, because obviously I had to, pay for the program, and I remember like thinking to myself, should I do this? I was hesitating, and I
Were you,
remember
were
even
you,
talking to you,
were you skeptical?
huh?
Were you skeptical? Be honest.
Oh
Fearful?
yeah, most definitely. I'm always going to be at least a little bit skeptical whenever I step into something like this.
Were
So,
you
so
fearful?
yeah, most
Were you
definitely.
were you fearful too?
Was that?
Were you fearful? Like, oh,
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Most
Yeah,
everybody.
especially like money going to it too. I'm like, man, I don't know what to expect. What if this doesn't work out? Yeah, I was definitely thinking that. And at some point, I'm just like, man, I don't know. Should I have done this? I don't, yeah, I was
Doubts.
definitely thinking that for sure. I'm not gonna lie. But then I also remember telling myself, and I remember my dad once told me this, like, whatever you start, you have to finish.
Mm,
Just finish it, go through it. You know, like I'd rather you finish and you do everything and things don't work out. At least that way you know you tried. But you don't try at all, you just never gonna know. And
mm,
I'd rather try and fail than never try at all. because so had I not done what I did, I would not be in this position. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I told myself I'm going to make it work one way or the other.
And I know
And
you
then
said,
also,
go
oh,
ahead.
let's go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. And the other thing I want to say is that, at first things were going, I mean, start off like as a breeze, like things were going okay within the first couple of weeks, but the more and more I got into it, obviously the more difficult it gets because there's going to be more concepts you got to learn more, like, with the codes, editing and everything.
Hmm.
And I did struggle for a bit. And I remember just being frustrated, like, oh my God, oh my God. But again, I just went back to the videos. I listened to everything you were saying. I looked at the notes and went right back to doing it again until I got it right.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I'll even like do the same thing a couple of times just to make sure, okay, this
Yes,
is what
sir.
it is. Okay, and then just keep going.
And
So
did you get to the point where it's like not only did you understood it, like you just had that confidence, like all right, like you know what you're doing. It's not like you do it and then you're kind of iffy. Did you feel like you kind of
yeah,
had that confidence in like what the ability, the skill set that you were learning?
right.
And
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I know you said that you were more so like a slow learner, which is fine. Um, you went from $40,000 to $150,000 once again, correct?
Yes.
And how long did it take you to when you joined the program to get the offer letter?
So I believe I started in November, right?
Okay.
And I just got the offer letter, what, last month, May? So
Okay.
that's about let's say about 6 months, a little less than that, but right around 6 months.
One, two, three, four,
That's it.
five, six. Yeah, like 6 months. Okay, so
Right.
um normal universities, it's like 4 years. Average people, well, I don't know if it's average, but people I know it takes them like 5 years. Um, go to school, $100,000 in debt on average in the state of in the United States. And there's a huge percentage of people that don't get jobs after graduation from going to a 4 year university
Hmm.
and $100,000 in debt on average. And for you with this program, it took you 6 months and the 1% university, as you know, it's not just cloud engineering. You get access to junior year. I'm going to give you access after this video. So you're going to learn how to invest. So now that you're making more money, you're going to learn how to actually use that money to make money for you so you can make money in your sleep. Right. So as we're talking right now, my money is making money for me because I have assets, right? I have education and I have a vehicle to use that money to make money for you. But nonetheless, comparing a university, $100,000 in debt, most people do not get a job when they graduate. Right? It takes them
Right.
time, and when they do get a job, it's not in their field. So, I mean, I think that's something similar you experienced. Did you get a job in your field when you graduated?
So for me, I did communications, which is
Okay.
pretty broad. So pretty much for me, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know what I was going to do. I just know that I just had to get a job.
So,
And yeah,
mhm.
I just went with whatever I could get for the meantime.
And so, Brad, most people, and I just want to state the fact, and because I experienced this college degree, I was driving Uber Eats, I had the certifications, still wasn't getting a job. 100,000 in debt. I was driving Uber Eats, certifications, no job, and I did my background in IT, my degree, information technology. N End result, no job, debt. But you paid a fraction of that, and before you even graduated from the 1% university, you're now in junior year, but you got a job for $150,000 remote, correct? In
Yeah.
6 months
Yep.
instead of 4 years.
Yep.
And it wasn't a certification, it wasn't a degree, it was the degree and the certification did not equal offer letter. What happened for you, you joined this program, you learned skills, you were challenged. It wasn't easy. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be easy. You have to put in the work and you have to be consistent and an equal offer letter, correct?
Correct.
And so I'm saying this over and over again because I see it all the time, right? There's this big misconception that you need certifications, You need to go to school to get a job. That might have been true in the past, but that's just not true in today's market. What you need is skill sets. You need to be able to actually provide a result for a company. Did you feel like on the interview, when you were talking, you were able to answer the questions and they saw the value? Like, okay, this guy can come in and solve our problems.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was even surprised like how easy it was for me because again, I went in there nervous. I'm thinking they about to ask me all kinds of stuff that I don't know, have no clue how to answer. I might have to just make up some stuff. Like, yeah, I was just nervous, but then I'm like, wait, like really, all I again, just go with the blueprint, go, with the workflow, explain to them exactly what I've been doing, with these projects and these tech challenges and that alone was just enough for me for them to be like, oh, okay, he knows what he's talking about. Let's bring him on. So,
Literally. It's
yeah.
I can't wait for you to actually start working because I want you to actually start living this lifestyle. And when you actually start to work, you actually start to build things, you start to like impact the business. Um, it's really a really, really good feeling. And then also when you get your first paycheck, that's even a better feeling. And almost tripling your income, it's like you're gonna feel like you have so much money you can't even spend it all. And like my mom told me that before I got my first six-figure job, and it's true. And it's just it gives you a lot of options. It gives you a lot of like you just feel more free. You don't feel constrained. You don't have to check like I used to check every single penny that will come in and out of my account. Now, obviously, I still manage my money, but it's not you. It's like the fear of holding on to money is not as tightened.
Yeah,
And even for you, you did not know this was going to work out. You were afraid, but you psychologically, you were able to let go of the money that you had in your hand to invest in yourself and to take that risk to actually get access to this blueprint and to learn the skill. And you did. Right.
right.
I always tell people, I have no idea if you're going to get an offer letter. I know for a fact if you do the work, you're going to get the skill. And if not, you know, we do have refund guarantees. But my main point I'm trying to make is, so I always say, hey, if you don't get the skill set, you get your money back, no questions asked. But then I tell everybody who I talk to personally, yeah, realistically, you're not going to get your money back because the blueprint works and people get the skill set, so they can receive some of the results that for example that you've achieved. Do you feel like if somebody was to go through this program and take it serious and to be consistent, that they could ever get a refund because the program works, or they would get their refund because the program doesn't work?
I mean, it's like I said, anybody can do this. It's definitely going to work. As long as you put in the work, you do what you're told, you're definitely going to get your money back and then some. Like it's worth it.
But what if you don't get the skill? Do you think that could happen?
Uh, that's up to you. Only way you're not gonna get the skills is if you give up. But I said
Okay.
all the tools and skills are everything is there you need, and if you need help, you have a whole community there. You have instructors there to support you. Like you can't fail. Only way you're gonna fail is if you decide you don't want to go through with it. Only way.
And
So
so I always say there is YouTube University, there's other programs specifically for this program. If you are sick of tired of being sick of tired and you're looking to actually break into cloud engineer and you're serious, you're going to put in the work. If you're not, do not click the first link in the description below. This is not for you. You will not succeed. Do not click it if you are not going to put in the work. If you think that this is like going to happen overnight. If you think this is going to happen next week, it's not. This is going to take time. Okay. No one knows when you're going to get an offer letter, but everybody that's put in the time and energy has gotten the skill and they have gotten offers. Right.
right, and I'm glad you said that because like one thing I want to add to is that like don't necessarily like compare yourselves to others. Like for
Yep.
example, I've seen individuals. I think it was correct from there's one individual who came in and got finished the program, got an offer within like 6 weeks or something like that. It's not like a
Mhm.
record or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, if somebody can do it in 6 weeks, that's cool. That's great. That's awesome. Whoever that person is, I wish
Hmm.
I was more like him. Like I wish I could do that in 6 weeks. But I know that's not me. You
Hmm.
know, so,
Hmm.
whoever that is, I'm going to be happy for them. I'm going to cheer them on. maybe who knows? I can maybe even reach out to them, ask how'd you do it? What maybe try to learn a thing or two from that person,
Hmm.
but don't compare yourself to others because, just keep going and just know that your time is gonna come. As long as you finish the program and just go with the blueprint and put in the work, you're gonna be just fine. So,
And the crazy part is, it's like, you may be in the Toyota that's going slower than a Ferrari, but you're all going to Six Flags. 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years is going to go by. It literally is going to go by. You cannot change that fact. But
right,
you're going in the same direction. You're going to hit the same destination. It took him 6 weeks. It took you 6 months, but you literally have the same result. And for the
right.
rest of your life, money will never be a problem. So do you feel like you have the skill set for the rest of your life to actually get a cloud engineer job as long as there's computers? Even AI is actually bringing more jobs in the market because AI lives on cloud infrastructure and they need cloud engineers to manage that cloud infrastructure.
Right,
But
which is part of the reason why I joined it.
do you feel like money will ever be an issue for the rest of your life?
No, no, absolutely not. Like I definitely feel like I made the right choice. Honestly, yeah, like 5 years ago from today, like if you had asked me if I'd be a cloud engineer, I'd be like, huh?
Same.
What is that? What is even that? Like, huh? I don't know what
Same.
that is.
But
And I'm here doing this. So
and
yeah,
so, do you feel like you would have regretted if you said no, if you let fear, because you felt fear before you invested in the program? Like that's normal. Everybody's going to feel fearful.
absolutely. Especially with money involved too. So yeah.
And so, you did you let fear overcome you or did you overcome fear?
Definitely overcame the fear. It almost got me though. I'm not gonna lie, but I decided to just push through because I'm like, at this point, I just feel like I'm in a position where again, I don't have a job, and that's another thing I want to bring up was that me not having a job, you feel me? Like I don't have a job, but I'm out here getting a loan to pay for the class. How
Mm.
am I gonna pay back this loan? And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm right there, oh my God, should I have done this? Yeah. But
Got
again, I figured it out.
hmm
Whatever it takes. I remember you mentioned doing Uber Eats. I'm not gonna lie, I did the same thing, doing Uber
hmm
Eats, and I went and for a while that's what's getting me by.
Honestly speaking, not
I went
only
in,
I
yeah,
was trying to average $10 an hour. It was getting me by, but honestly, I used to open up the McDonald's fries and like kind of put tape it back up. It's I'm just messing with you, but nah, it was honestly, it's like you know, it's like I really, really am happy for you. Like, I already know what your next couple of months is going to look like because I've been there, but I can't wait for you to experience. Like, that's literally why I do what I do. The money that I have cannot give me the feeling of what I feel now that your life has changed because of this program, like forever. And you have not experienced it yet because you're about to when you start working, you get your first paycheck. And then a year later, it's going to feel normal. Like you're going to be making more money when you start the job
right.
stack ethically and legally. And it's going to feel so normal. Literally, you can just be like, oh, I feel like going to Miami today and book a flight. That's like literally, I've done that about 3 different times when I was working. Now, obviously, it's like I have flexibility because I'm working remote and, I can just fly and it's not like I'm client facing, but it's just like cloud engineering gives a lot of flexibility. It's just like, it's a you went from 40K on site stress and now you're about to live a really really good life and I cannot wait for you to experience it. Like congratulations, you put in the work and you deserve it. Like what you overcame fear. What would have happened if fear overcame you? What do you feel like would have happened with your life?
Well, because then now I'm going to be stuck, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's like it's like a pick your poison. Like you're either gonna be stuck and just be stressed out, not really going nowhere. Or you can put yourself in a position where, yeah, it's going to be stressful. You got to figure some stuff out. But as long as, again, you put in the work, eventually it's going to pay off. So it's
Yeah.
like, you're going to have to, so that's like one way or the other. I got to figure this out because I know I don't want this forever. Like I'm at home, not doing nothing. I'm broke. I'm struggling. Like it was, I didn't like where I was at all. I'm depressed. I'm thinking, man, should I move back to Ghana and go live with my family? I just started thinking all these negative thoughts, and I'm like, I can't go out like this. I have to figure out a way.
And now
So
you don't have to go back to Ghana and live with your family. You can now take care of them.
exactly, right, right. That was the part of it too, man. I want to be able to just be like, hey, mom,
You straight.
here's some money here, just have fun, go on vacation, do something with this, like I want to be able to do that, you know?
I'm gonna hold you accountable, and when you do that, text me because
Oh yeah,
I want to know the feeling. Like it is, there's no better feeling than that. Like
yep,
it's a really really good feeling to be like, Mom, you straight. Like you you're good, and you can
yep,
take care of her. And so I really want to emphasize that because I talk to a lot of people and I see them, they let fear overcome them and they stay stuck, right? And it is what it is. I can't force anybody, but I'm glad that you overcame fear. You put in the work, you followed the blueprint because that's exactly what you did to get the result that you're looking for, correct?
right,
And
exactly,
if you had let fear overcame you, you would have been stuck. And
exactly.
and you did not even have the money, correct? But you figured it
Hmm.
out. And did we kind of help you, like, assist showing you how to figure it out too as well?
Like as far as like the like finances,
Finances, like the program, just everything. Like, did you had to,
yeah.
you didn't have to figure everything out. Like, we assisted you with some stuff.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just everything from A to Z, really just getting to the program. Obviously, I didn't have the money to pay the full amount. So
Hmm.
we basically talk about how, even though I don't have the full amount, we can still work something out,
Hmm.
right? And be able
Hmm.
to go from there. So I would say that was really what had me even consider like, okay, maybe I can do this. Because at first I'm like, how am I gonna pay for this? Like, I don't have a job. I don't like, how am I gonna do that? So it started
And,
with that,
and
and
then
then
also, like, if the skill set, if you don't get the skill, if it don't work, you get your money back. So, like, you're not really risking anything financially if you take it serious. Because if not, you're going to be stuck. Like, that's not a part of what we do here. Right?
right, exactly.
Okay. Okay. And so what would you say your experience in, this program was? Like either not as good as you expected, as good as what you expected, a little bit better than what you expected, or just beyond what you imagined? There's
It's
no wrong answer.
definitely, oh yeah, most definitely. For me, I would say definitely beyond what I expected.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like at least with some of the other programs I've, been a part of in the past, I will struggle. It would take a long. It took way too long for me to figure it out, things out, and that's just simply because I felt like I didn't have the support that I really wanted, right? Whereas with this program, it wasn't like that. I didn't get stuck too often, and even when I got stuck, obviously we have the tools and the resources there to help you out, to help you navigate through that, right? So. Yeah, I definitely think it was more than I expected, and it's like once you know what you're doing too, it's like everything clicks. It's like, oh, this is actually not bad. Like I could do this, and this is actually way easier than what I was doing at Geico, even though I was getting paid way less. So it's like,
Yeah.
bro.
Honestly, to this day, I still don't understand how that works. I was working harder, getting paid less, more stress. You haven't
Hmm.
experienced it yet, but now it's like chilling. If
Right.
I'm working, I'm not working that much. Why? AI that's doing majority of the heavy lifting. I have the information, so I know how to prompt it. It's context and engineering, right? There's prompt engineering, there's context engineering. I have the context to put to give the AI to prompt it correctly to now build solutions for me, right? I do it in a safe environment, right? And so I can show you how to do this too as well once you start working. But you want to do it in a safe environment so like the AI doesn't have your company's information, right? You can, but then it builds something that would have took me 2 weeks to do manually with Terraform. I had to build a solution with it. I did it in 2 minutes. Okay. And so AI does majority of the work. I'm at home. I'm not client facing. I have a meeting once a week, right, for one job. I was doing three at the same time, or three different contracts, and I was able to work a lot less and get paid a lot more. $35,000 a year, IT technician, compared to $489,000 a year as a cloud engineer, three different contracts. And
Yeah.
so working a lot less. So it based on the skill sets that you possess, the market will compensate you for the skills that you have. And the amount of time that you work to get the outcome, the money. And so cloud engineering has that in terms of how much inputs that you need to put in to get outputs. Network engineer has that. Cybersecurity has that. IT technician has that. Help desk has how much inputs do you need? 8 hours, 35K. That was an IT technician. Okay.
Right.
As a cloud engineer, $489,000 a year. If I really shared how many hours I was working online, I say 2 to 3 hours, but honestly, that's not even true. It was a lot less than that. But if I say that, most people, they're not going to believe it. And so even 2 to 3 hours a day on average is still crazy low. But
Yeah.
realistically, people will not believe the amount of hours I was actually, it wasn't even hours. But when it's busy, yes, I'm working 3, 4 hours, but I'm busy sometimes 5 and 6 if it's like I'm busy on all three contracts at the same time. But that's like 10, 20% of the time, like per year. But because we build out the infrastructure, we build out the automations, everything is set up, and we're just monitoring, right? Prometheus, Grafana, different monitoring tools. You're monitoring the infrastructure, you're monitoring the application to making sure everything is running smoothly. You set up automations to give you alerts if you have any anomalies. CPU utilization goes above 70%, right? That's a red flag if that's on a production, server, right? So nonetheless, I'm going on a tangent. It's just you have this skill set. It's not just, oh, you're making 6 figures. It's a very valuable skill set. It is a high income leveraged skill. Leverage just means you can make a lot of money and work less. And so that is the skill set that you have gained. And so, was there a specific moment in the program, like a coaching call, a project, a conversation in Slack, where you just knew this was going to just change everything?
Oh, um, I think it was for me. I think it was like the coaching course that we used to have on Sundays, you know. I feel like every now and then, you need some motivation. You need something you need to just keep you going.
Yep.
And I think there's been sometimes you've been on that call. Sometimes it's somebody, I think maybe Felipe or another person. Now I know you've had recruiters also come in as
Yep.
well.
Hmm.
And just hearing some of the stuff that's getting talked about, and just giving us that motivation to keep going and seeing like the opportunities that are there. Like that's what got me excited. Like, okay, don't give up, keep going. Let's get back to it, So I feel like that those coaching calls definitely helped me for sure.
And you feel like that kind of contributed to like you moving forward to actually getting the offer letter?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the thing is too is like again, like because I there was time I was struggling a bit, and a lot of times whenever I would like struggle, I would just kind of just take a step back and be like, I might just take a break.
Yep.
Sometimes I might have doubts, and I'm like, man, should I keep going? Should I keep going? But obviously, I can't stop. So again, hearing what you guys had to say is just what I feel definitely helped a lot.
And there's no gun to your head. I'm going to ask you a very honest question, and you could say anything. Like the act like this is your video. You can say anything. How would you describe my character or any like from your experience with working with me? How would you describe my character, my team's character, just what we have here at the 1% University, just in
Um,
general?
in general, honestly, I
You could
really
you could say it's trash. I'm not gonna be mad at you. You could say anything.
well, it's definitely not trash, but uh, yeah, yeah. But say as far as character, not everybody seems to be extremely helpful. Like you also, I even got to mention, even having just that one person every Sunday checking up on you. Hey, happy Sunday. Hi, new week. How are you doing? Can
Mhm,
you give me an update of what's going on? Just even that alone, little stuff like that helps. It seems like everybody is just willing to help.
mhm,
Everybody's there to help. Everybody is excited to see your progress. Everybody really wants to see you win.
mhm.
That's really how I felt. Everybody really genuinely wants to see you win, and like I said, as long as you put in the effort, everybody's willing to do whatever it takes to, put you in that position to be successful. So it's
Okay.
really all on you.
Before I hire anybody in the business, they have to have, even though it's a business, people I pay people, they make money. That doesn't come first. I've seen people who are really, really good, but when I do interviews, I look for they have to serve first before anything else. Are they going to go the extra mile, right? If they have to, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm just getting a paycheck. This person can figure it out, or it's 5 o'clock, or whatever the case may be. I'm a clock out when they know they could do something small to really make a huge difference. And so the mission statement of the business is to impact millions of lives on a global scale, right? And so when I hire somebody, they have to reflect what I look for within myself. Well, not look for, what I typically do is serve first. And then, for them, they have to embody that same mindset. And so the results, like I've hired, Anita specifically to make those messages, right? I have Kareem checking in with you every month, right, on the Zoom calls. That checklist, the step-by-step blueprint checklist to get the skill that you have gotten, right? Everything is very intentional. It's really plug and play. Um, and so, nah, number one, I really appreciate that. And um, I want to ask you one last time. Do you feel like if somebody went through this program and they were serious, they can get the skill set?
Absolutely. Like, even if I truly believe, even if you're somebody who's not like, if you're like technology challenged, or if you're not even like into computers like that, even that, like, you can, if you willing to put in the work, you can do it. You
And
can
what's
definitely go through this program.
what's the reason why they wouldn't get the skill set? Like, what would be the reason why that you think?
The reason, letting doubt, fear overcome them,
Mm,
and not trying,
mm,
maybe just not following through, giving up. Like, it's really on you.
mm.
That's pretty much the only thing I can think of, because like I said, everything is there, and the way you guys break everything down, most of the time, some instructors won't break it down like that. They'll break it down in a way where you're just sitting there like, what do
Yep.
speaking Chinese? Like, what's
I'm
going on?
trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I've experienced
Yeah,
it, and it is
you know what I'm saying?
honestly it's not easy to break things down to a atomic level. And
Hmm.
a lot of people don't even have awareness that people don't even know. Like when I was teaching, even in the video too as well, I say infrastructure, but then I take a step back and I'm like, I'm aware you guys don't understand what infrastructure is. I didn't know what it was, and I broke down what infrastructure is, and I gave analogies. Do you feel like, and you can say no or you can say yes. Do you feel like a fifth grader can go through this program, understand it, and be successful if they were consistent?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because like that's the thing too. You have to kind of watch like the certain terms you're using. Some people do not know what infrastructure means, so maybe use a different term. And I kind of noticed that. And even when you would in some of your videos, you were talking about utilizing AI, like typically like with ChatGPT, where you can actually ch ask ChatGPT to explain things to you
Hmm.
like you're a fifth grader.
Hmm.
Like, that's one thing that I mean, I've been using ChatGPT for maybe a couple of years before I joined your program, but I never actually thought of that. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I didn't even know you could ask ChatGPT to explain things like that to you in that manner. So
Hmm.
I'm glad you definitely, taught us that. And then also just how you explained it. Like, you really truly trying your best to just break it down and simplify it as much as possible. So yeah, I truly believe that even a fifth grader can go through this program and be successful with it for sure.
Once again, if you are interested and committed, and like I am going to put in the work and follow this blueprint step by step, right? Go ahead and click the first link in the description below to get started today. We do not, telling you right now, we do not just accept anybody. We do qualify people. And honestly, we're just looking for you just to really want it, right? Because there's a lot of work, time, money that goes behind the building the team to put the resources to put inside the students, and we have to be very selective on who we choose so we can have results like Nana. And so the last question I have for you is, if someone's watching this right now and they were in that same spot, let's say you were talking to yourself, but let's say they're, in that same spot making 40K, feeling stuck, stressed, maybe nervous about investing in themselves. What would you tell them?
For one, I would just tell them, at the end of the day, life goes on, whether you want to sit there and be fearful and let doubt or fear or whatever it is get in your way and not try. Like time waits for nobody.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, it's up while you're here, it's up to you to decide if you want to basically live a certain lifestyle, right? You want to basically live up to your full potential, or you want to do just enough to get by.
Mhm.
For me, I don't I don't want to do just enough to get by. I want to live my full potential.
Mhm.
And I know this saying is so overused, and I'm even tired of saying it myself, but trust me, I believe if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like, so with that being said, like if you're in a position where you're stuck, you're not happy where you are, I definitely ask that you definitely take that risk because you might not realize it, but in the long run, you're going to be successful as long as you put in the effort and do what you're supposed to do. It's
Do you,
just that simple.
do
And
you
this
feel like
applies to anything in life, but especially with this, you will be successful. The doubts will come, the fear, you're going to be scared. There are going to be times where you might even get stuck. You might not be sure what's going on, but you have to keep going
mm,
because in those moments is when you're really gonna those moments are the moments that determine who's going to come out on top and who's not. As long
mm.
as you don't let fear stop you or doubt, stop you, you're going to be able to make it. So
I,
that's
I
just all it is.
I won't say your name, but I had a student who reached out and literally the same situation. And I was extremely busy. I think it was yesterday. But I made time for her. It was important. And that fear, she was about to let that fear overcome her. Like she's in the program. She just joined about last month. And she's going through a lot, and I know she's going to be a testimonial, but I got on the phone. I was on the phone with her for like almost an hour, and that support, that guidance, she truly appreciated because she was literally about to give up.
Hmm.
And, I know, for example, your result is life changing forever. I know that she can have the same result. And so if I know that, I'm going to do whatever is possible to make sure that I can coach her, I can guide her to make sure that she has the right mindset to move forward. That is a priority because I know where she's at right now. She's not in the life that she wants. Money is an issue. And I know that if she follows the blueprint, money will never be an issue. Do you feel like that's true once again? Money is never going to be an issue for you?
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. I'm good. And trust me, this is just the beginning. This is only the beginning. It's only up from here.
Yes,
Like you
sir.
have the skills. Like there's no looking back at this point. And that's the goal. You want to make sure, you get make so much money that you can't even stop the money if you wanted to.
And and
So it's
and
like,
and you feel like you
you,
can always get another offer letter if you can always get recruiters to reach out to you. You can, so what I say online is what I teach is cloud engineering, the concepts and projects. That's number one. Number two, how to get recruiters to reach out to you consistently. And number three, how to communicate yourself as one of the top candidates on any job interview. Doesn't mean you're going to get every job, no, but it increases the likelihood of you getting the offer letter. That is the skill set that we uh, produce, that we show in the blueprint. Do you feel like that is what you have learned and gained in terms of a skill set?
oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. Like I said, like for me, like even coming from a business analyst background, like I didn't have much like technical experience at all. It wasn't even technical, really. It was just more front end stuff. For me, sometimes it really felt like a help desk position. You were just solving issues and all that.
Mm.
But this program definitely gave me skills that I needed, and I like at this point, like it's as the sky's the limit, man. Like
It-
I can see myself getting three, four offers, like I'm very confident that any interview that I get, like I'm gonna kill it. Like the job is already mine. Just give it to me right now. That's kind of the mentality I'm going in with.
So your first offer was 145,000 with a 5K bonus.
Right.
That is a really good offer. Also, and it's remote. And so do you feel like it was riskier making the investment or riskier not investing?
Definitely risky not investing because again, I would not be in the position that I'm in now. I would have been stuck wondering what I'm going to be doing, still doing Uber Eats and whatnot, just You know,
Because there's a version, there is literally a version of you that said that would have said no because of fear, and that would have been where you. Where do you think you would have been? I'm not even going to talk for you. Where do you think you would have been if you would have said no?
I probably would have, I said, probably been stuck, probably doing whatever, just trying to do whatever to get by, you know. And like I said, I probably would have been because there was a time, like I said, I didn't have a job for a while, for like months, about 7 months. I wasn't actually working, so I just feel like I probably would have been the same. Chances are, I probably would have had to settle for whatever I can get and just work any job, regardless of how stressful it is, regardless of how unhappy I am. I just feel like I got to settle. Whereas since I took the risk, I don't have to settle no more. I actually got the job that I really wanted, which I know is going to change my life. So it's like,
Do you feel like you can
yeah.
now have a little bit extra money? Do you feel like you can have like extra money to like, hey mom, here you go, or here, dad or family, like you have a little bit of cushion?
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of what I was trying to get to. So yeah, most
Okay.
definitely.
So you're able to take care of those who you love because you took that risk. And
Exactly.
um, okay. And so that's pretty much it. Always have a 1% gem at the end of these testimonials. A 1% gem is something that you will advise, you will give an advice to anybody listening to this. It is something tangible that they can use today to get them closer to their financial goal. And so what is a 1% gem that you want to share to everybody listening to right now?
1% gem. I'll say, at the end of the day, one thing about life, if you play too safe, you're not gonna get far. Nobody ever got successful playing it too safe.
Mm.
So especially if you're in a position where you have a job and you're not happy, or whether even if you don't have a job, and you really want to, level up your life, you have to take that risk. So with that being said, for me, this was the route that I took to become a cloud engineer. And I highly recommend that, especially anybody that's trying to get into IT, or if you're already in IT and you want to move over to a more, you know, technical position, right? Maybe you're doing help desk or even a business analyst like me, like I was doing. I highly recommend, you get into this program. This program will definitely help you out. We're in an era where, like I said earlier, AI is taking over and we do need people to manage, you know, to be on the back end managing, the infrastructure and AI and all that. We still need people. A lot of people think AI is taking over and they're not going to be jobs. But I was like, no, it's still possible to get a job. You just have to make sure you're getting the right job. So yeah, I mean, and cloud engineer is definitely one way to go for sure. So with that
Amazing.
being said, I would say just make sure you don't give up, take that risk, invest in yourself. And I remember reading with you saying, if somebody, put a gun to you and told you come up with $2,000, or if somebody told you like if you had maybe I forgot how you said it, maybe if you had 2 weeks to live and somebody told you come up with $2,000, like you're gonna come up with it. You're gonna find a way to come up with it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of like just sometimes you gotta just say, you know what, I'm gonna find a way,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I did pretty much for me. Find a way to get it because it's possible. You can do it. Find a way to get that 2,000, invest in yourself, and it will change your life. As long as you go through the program, you're going to be good. So
And
yeah.
so just to be clear, Nana didn't pay 2000, but
Yeah.
the analogy that I say, and it's a mindset thing, right? If somebody put a gun to if they kidnap your family or somebody that you love, hopefully you love your family, and they say you have to come up with $25,000 in a week, and you only have $100 in your bank account with bad credit. Are you going to tell them, hey, sorry, I don't have the money? Right?
Right.
No,
Nah.
you're going to figure it out. And that is an extreme, but the what I want to point out are the two elements of that situation. And this is what you need to change your life. If you're watching this right now and you're like, I need to change my life, listen to this. The two elements from that situation is urgency and priority. Nana, do you feel like you had urgency and priority for the situation that you were in before you invested in this program?
Absolutely. Especially with me being broke, struggling. I'm like, I can't live like this. Yeah. I was like,
And so did you
I
feel
got
like that's why you went ahead and find the money? You went to like Robert Kiyosaki says, rich dad, poor dad, people are poor because their mindset. They say, oh, I don't have the money, right?
yeah.
But he's like, oh, how can I find the money? right? How can I get them? I forgot his phrase. I'm paraphrasing it, but that allows you to think creatively, right? Yeah, like a lot of people are kind of like lazy mentally, right? And so that rich dad is like, yeah, I don't have the money. They don't even think that. How can I go find it, right? And so because if you go find the money, do you feel like the money that you invested in yourself was like this, and then what you got was like this? You got more than what you got, you did than what you gave?
Yeah, absolutely. Like even with the offer, the amount of money they gave to me, I was like, wow. I was like, huh? Come again? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, and I didn't even tell you this. There was the time I used to work multiple jobs, and it wasn't
Uh,
even half of what I'm
Wow,
making right now.
wow,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying? So
Wow.
it's like, again, just coming from that to this is crazy to me. I'm still trying to process that how I even got to this point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like, and like you said, like I know I didn't pay $2,000, but let's just say I had to pay that. At the end of the day, once you get the offer, you could probably pay that money back within your first check. Like,
Mhm.
like it's nothing. And after that, you good. Like, so it's like
So,
you,
so,
you got you got
so,
to take that risk. Mhm.
so because you took the risk and you put in the work and you invested, right? Investment. So invest. So people, a lot of people don't know this, but investing, they think like when they pay for a program, it's like, dang, that money is gone. I'm not going to see it back. No, you're investing in yourself. You have to invest money and your time and energy into a proven blueprint to get the ROI. So the investment, do you feel like you would have made 10 times your investment in a year from now?
Like I'm talking like if I didn't join the program.
No, like if you did, like you joined the program a
Okay.
year from now, the money that you invested, do you feel like you'll make 10 times the amount that you've invested?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel like, let's say you get another job, do you feel like you'll make 20 times the investment you've made?
You said another job?
Let's say you get another job, yes, two, so you're working two jobs. Do you feel like you'll
Oh
make
yeah.
20 times your investment?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so you paid money, right? Let's say
Mm-hmm.
this little circle, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You overcame fear, you took risk, you put the time and energy into the blueprint, and then you got the skill set that gave you this result of $150,000, right? And so you got more than what you invested, correct?
Yo, yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm just trying to point out an investment in yourself is you're planting a seed and you're waiting for it to grow into a tree. But you have to water it. You have to put time and energy into the blueprint for this program. If you're not going to do that, the seed is going to die. Please do not join the program. I always say that over and over again, and I truly do mean that. Like, and the last thing I'm gonna say before we hop off, I used to hate like when I was trying to like figure things out. I used to hate when people try to like put me down because I didn't want to like join their stuff or whatever. Like, oh, you don't want money? Like, what? No, I just don't want to join your stuff. Like, at the end of the day, number one, don't ever let anybody make you feel like that, especially somebody online. But number two, there is nothing wrong with if you're like, hey, I'm content with where I'm at. Like, I'm literally I'm fine. There's not I don't want anybody to feel any type of way. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying, I always say you do not have to, join my program. I truly do mean that. You don't have to feel any type of way. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But if you are unsatisfied, right, with where you're at, and you're like, I need a change, right? Even like we are here to serve. We are here to get you from point A to point B. But to get you from point A to point B, you have to want it. So once again, if you are like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm at point A, I'm struggling, or even if you're at 150K and you want to get to that $500,000 a year, okay, go ahead and click the first link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cool.